Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Print Pretzels. We're going to take some time, get some audio checks in here real quick since it's been about 2 weeks since we live streamed because we had Thanksgiving. Hope everyone was doing great. Hope we had a happy Thanksgiving. We didn't live stream that Wednesday night prior because we had some nasty storms come through and it was constantly knocking the power in and out, so it would have been kind of a struggle for you guys to be able to view us. But we made it through it. We made it to 1,000 subscribers. That's amazing. So we're going to celebrate that tonight here on Print Pretzels, and stay tuned as we're going to go through and get a pretzel file and print off a couple of souvenirs. I'm going to send out some of to our subscribers. So if you're watching tonight, make sure you're tuning in because you might get a printed pretzel. Hopefully, if you're tuning in, you can hear the audio clarity. It's doing pretty good. If not, let me know. Drop it in the comments. We just got a couple of videos out this past week. One on the AMS, the original bamboo AMS. That turned out phenomenally well. We're super happy about that video. Then we did a follow-up video for the AMS 2 Pro. We're also working on the AMS HT and the AMS Lite. We're going to start with those systems first, and then we're going to move into the actual printers and maintenance for that. I know there's a million printer maintenance videos out there. We're just going to do our take on them just to get them streamlined so that people have them, because we are getting those for the holidays. Well, not us, but we already have them. But some people are buying those on the Black Friday deals so that they have these new maintenance videos out there that'll help them. So hope everyone's doing well. Printer Prawn, thank you for the congratulations. Printed Trucker, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. If you're on the road, be safe out there because it is nasty out there. Winter is here. We found out last week. It was pretty gross. But we're going to be doing some pretzel stuff. We got some big announcements to make. I mean, big for our channel, but for other channels it may not be so big because they're bigger than us. But it just shows that we're doing growth. We got new subscribers. We hit that 1K mark. Filament brands and stuff are noticing us, so that's exciting to see. So without getting too much into it, I know I'm super excited. I hope everyone else is. I do want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's been using that Sunlu code, the Be Glorious code. If you haven't used it yet, check it out when you buy your Sunlu stuff. Right now, since it's Black Friday sales, it doesn't really help too much because they are at their lowest prices of the year. But every other period of time, when you order filament, if you order from Sunlu, use that code Be Glorious. It has let Sunlu know that we are out here doing our thing, and we got a good announcement later tonight for that. Just a quick thank you to you guys for using that code when you do your checkouts. Andrew Crowd, congrats! Thanks. That was just my screen, or thought that was just my screen. Audio is good, but you're not full screen. Oh, let's see here. I see that. Let's see if Streamlabs can get with the program here. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely want to be full screen. All right, there we go. Let me know if you guys can see that full screen now. It might be a little laggy because there is some weather out there. Printed Trucker already had snow in Kentucky and Tennessee, getting trailer axles from Somerset, Kentucky, going to El Paso. Be safe out there, Printed Trucker. That is a huge ordeal to go through all that snow. If you're watching while you're driving, please not be watching. Please, please just be audioing in. But I do appreciate that. Or unless you're using voice to text or you got some cool setup going on. I'm sure you probably do. That's pretty cool that you're out there printing and trucking at the same time. That's the ultimate mobile setup. Iceman 74, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Looks like everything's looking good from you guys' end. That's awesome to see. Let me get to I'm actually having to use a schedule on the live stream tonight, guys. That's awesome to see. So yes, we did hit that 1K subscriber milestone. You guys, I mean, just by sitting in here, tuning in every week, I just mad props to you guys because you're giving your time to us here at the channel, and that is huge. Those watch hours are always super huge for us as we get to that monetization goal at some point in time, and then that just shows that we're getting bigger and bigger in all the best ways. I don't want to get too big and like lose our community or anything like that. I'm just excited for the positivity that we're getting on the channel here. Memberships will be unlocking at some point in time with that YouTube monetization. I don't know what that'll look like, but that is a huge goal for us. We just got to get those watch hours up now. We're at just short of 1,000 watch hours, and we need to get to 3,000 to get that. So we're going to keep producing great content. We're going to keep doing our thing here. I did put out a poll on the community tab. I think it was either earlier today or maybe it was even yesterday on what kind of content you guys would like to see. We have some options of the next IKEA Skådis video. We have P1 S maintenance, and then there was also, I put in an option if we wanted to create like a glow-in-the-dark UV printer area. That would be kind of neat to just have it in like a black box and just have a UV light in there and watch the glow-in-the-dark filament kind of like form. Just a couple of ideas out there that I thought would be cool to have on the channel that I don't really see anybody else doing that last one, or the Skådis one. And then we're also going to do our celebration print tonight. I'm going to print a bunch of like bronze pretzels, and going to get some of those out to our subscribers here. If you guys are tuning in tonight, shoot me an email over at thegloriousgeeks01@gmail.com. Printed trucker, print only when parked. That's awesome. I like that. Let me get this. I got to go over to YouTube real quick and get this in the chat for you all, because Streamlabs won't let me do it for some reason. Enter in the chat from there. Let's see here. We want to go to the live, and we're going to click that. Then I'm going to type in the chat our email, thegloriousgeeks01@gmail.com. If you guys want one of these pretzels tonight, I'm probably going to print off a dozen or so, and I'll get them out to you. Just as a small thank you to all the dedication that you guys have done just by watching the channel from week to week. It's a huge help, and I just want to say thank you to you guys. So we'll get you a bronze pretzel out here. It's PLA, don't eat it. It is cornstarch based, but let's not eat any of the printed pretzels. Just a little memorabilia that I can get out to you guys. So here's that email. If you guys want it, just send me your contact information to that email, and I'll get you that. David, I've not forgotten about you. I'm going to send a sticker with your pretzel and a little bonus thing since you've waited so long. I appreciate your patience in that, buddy. We've had a lot going on. Not hungry with mustard. Lots of salt. Well, we do have, you know, it's funny, I have some honey mustard pretzels, but I got some Dots pretzels here, the original seasoned pretzel twist. It's our last little bag of these. And again, our classic ice water here. This is a cherry limeade. I'm not a big fan of cherry and lime at the same time, but this is our last one, so we'll get it polished off there. I am seeing folks are getting chroma kits. I am waiting. Me too, David. Me too. I am waiting for that chroma kit. I was really hoping we'd get that before that 1K subscriber mark hit there, but it didn't happen. That's okay. We're going to keep trucking. Printed trucker, that's shout out to you. We're going to get that going here. And then let me pull up my little thing here. So the first announcement is, since we're talking about the Frozen Arco, the first kind of like people are noticing us kind of vibe I got is Frozen. While they didn't completely donate this, or not donate, but send this equipment free of charge to us, they did give us a very, very, very heavy discount on a couple of new products that they're sending out. They're going to give us, or get us that new, I'm drawing a blank. What is it called? Air filtration system that they have coming out. We're going to go over that here in just a second. And then also that new enclosure system that they have coming out, because they really want to showcase that it works. Those three things work together: the Arco, the enclosure, and the HEPA air filtration system all work together. They've also going to send, it's a little component that you get if you got it during the Black Friday deal. it's a little magnetic vent that goes from the back of the Arco to the HEPA air filtration system. We'll get that set up right over here. We have an exhaust port up here in the ceiling that we'll be able to vent it out at if we want to print some crazy materials. Sent an email to support asking if I'm on 1.79. Can I just upgrade to 1.85 when I get my chroma? Oh, that is a good question. I don't know about that one. I'm still way behind on my firmware. So, on with our checklist. So, since we are printing a pretzel tonight, I do want to say that we're going to use Sunlu filament. It's a little bit of leftover filament that I have from another project. It is, I don't remember. It's PLA Plus by Sunlu, and it's the gold color. To me, it's more of like a bronze color. And I wanted to do a bronze color-ish because I want to celebrate those big subscriber marks. I want to celebrate those, that our first 1,000 subscribers. That's huge for a channel, small channel. And then our next one, maybe 5 or 10,000. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. That'll be a silver pretzel. And then if we get to 25,000, we'll do a gold pretzel. And if someday, I don't know how, if it ever happens, I can't tell the future, 100,000 subscribers will do a platinum pretzel. I promise they're not going to be made out of those precious materials. They're just going to be printed in PLA in those colors because PLA has the biggest and vibrant selection of colors that I'm aware of. So that's something cool that we're going to do. Quick shout out to Sunlu on that we're going to be using those filaments. So you are printing pretzels, getting a little salty, are you? Yeah, yeah, I am printing pretzels tonight, and I'll go over the file that I'm going to go with you in a second. I just want to get this going here. Let me get the Arco cam showing up for you. There's the Arco cam up in the corner. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here so you can see. I don't want to cut off the Arco in the background behind me either, though. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I can get to Maker World real quick and show you that pretzel that I found. I wonder if I can find it again. Pretzel. It's pretty cool. It's like a Belgian pretzel. There it is. So it's like a little trophy pretzel. I haven't like pulled it up in the slicer yet, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to switch over here real quick to the screen capture so you guys can see that. Take those off here. So this is a pretzel by Mr. McKay, the original German Brezel trophy. We're going to download this and see what it looks like when we bring it in to Orca Slicer. Fair warning, I did not dry this filament before I put it into the Arco. It has been out for a minute, so we may get some stringing in our pretzel. Just a heads up on that one. And we're waiting for it to load up here. It's a lot of warnings. Oh, it's because I don't have the right. Oh. So this is an actual trophy. So I'll probably go off and print this as part of like the membership or the copy here that we'll have in the studio. Let's see if we can find a different file for an actual pretzel. All right, I'll go back. There we go. Here's an actual pretzel. But if you guys see a file or you know of a file, drop it in the comments so that I can print it out there. Oh, here we go. Perfect. 20 of them. That should be enough for our small but glorious family here. See what that looks like. And again, thank you guys for all the watch hours you've been giving us. It super helps out the channel. I've been watching them tick up on YouTube Studio every week. So, all right. So that's on the AMO Mini. Let's not have that. We want that on the Arco. We'll transfer all those. I want to have all the same size pretzels, so let's get rid of these small ones here. Now, are they flat on the other side? Not really. Be interested to see if these stick. Does it have any recommended print settings? Pretzel cookie cutters, that's funny. Hmm. I don't see any recommended print settings, so it doesn't look like anybody's used any supports with them. So we're gonna keep on going with where we're going. Let me check the comments real quick here before I get too far. Make sure I'm not missing anybody's. Nope, not missing anybody right now. All right, so we're gonna print all the same size pretzels, and I want to print 20 of them off and see how much filament it takes. I think I got about 200 grams on this roll left. Copy there. We can clone this. There's 3, 6, 9, 12 of them here, so we're going to clone it 8 more times. And then we should be awesome. So now, okay, it's the pink filament. So we're going to go here and Sunlu PLA Plus. I wonder if, since I didn't draw the filament, I wonder if the string will look like string cheese, melted cheese. That'd be pretty funny. Oh, there is some supports on here. So let me make sure. Okay, those are decent supports, but I want to change the support height. So I'm going to go to support. If they don't have 0.28, I really want 0.28. Yeah, that's no. I'm going to do top Z distance of 0.28. Same thing with the bottom Z distance. I'm also going to do 0.28. That's just something I found that makes removing supports really easy. Make sure I missed anybody's comments. I think the description said PET G support on the pretzel. I thought I saw something like that too, but I was reading Oktoberfest, cool. Support issue. Okay, I see maybe right here. The one above front looks good. The one left one is the original. The middle one is printed with bamboo support for PLA. The right one is printed with PET G to support any tips. Clear out PET G for cup. I don't see any replies for that, so it looks like they tried to use PET G as support. That must have been on a multicolor. I'm guessing. Let's click on the photo here if we can get a better view. I see what they're saying here. That looks like where their supports were still attached. I want to say that came off so nicely because PLA and PET G don't attach to each other. But since you're printing in PLA, we're going to be printing in PLA. I think what I want to do is use that 0.28 Z layer height so that it doesn't really attach to itself. So hopefully we shouldn't get that issue here. If it does happen, then I will just go off and print this off again on the bamboo printers with that PLA support or PET G support. All right, so let's get back out of here. So good catch on that. I appreciate that. Colin, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. Celebrating that 1,000 subscriber mark. All right, we want to get back to Orca Slicer here. So I'm going to shrink this down. You guys don't need to see this giant list of filaments here. So looks like that's what it's going to be like. I wonder why that's weird supports, but I think I'm going to change the supports. It just, there should be a setting to where it says build plate only. Enable support on build plate only. That's weird. It looks like it's still attached to the model, but first layer expansion on build plate, remove small overhangs. I really don't see anything here that's going to cause it to have any issues with the supports. So normal, I usually use tree supports, but we'll use the default supports and see what happens. Upload and print. Now, at some point, my Arco's still doing this. I don't know why. It will pause and say it's out of filament. I don't know why. I just have to go manually into this screen here, the fluid screen, and click resume, and it never, the notification will still be on the screen on the Arco, but once I click resume, it's like manually overriding it, and then I don't have any issues with it after that. So we're preheating now over here. If you guys haven't seen this screen before, this is just a fluid screen behind the scenes in Orca Slicer for your printer or for the frozen Arco. Tells you some stuff on the side here. Things are heating up. David Walton, support settings are assuming using PETG and as the interface, you need to reset them. Reset them to what? Why do you use Orca Slicer instead of Bamboo Studio? So I use Orca Slicer for my non-Bamboo printers. Colin, to answer your question, I do use Bamboo Studio for my Bamboo printers. To me, keeping them separate, it seems a little easier to me. I can just select my Bamboo printer in Bamboo Studio, which I have 3 different printers now for Bamboo. And then I also can use Orca Slicer for all my other printers because the Elegoo Centauri Carbon's on there, the Frozen Arco's on there. At one point I had a Neptune 4 Pro from Elegoo as well. All those printers are on that system. So Bamboo Studio is kind of like they like lock down their own stuff. So, oops, you guys are seeing infinite screens here, sorry. And turn this back on. There you go. See if I can't move this out a little bit for you guys so you can see what's going on. David, to get back to your comment, check the rectifier settings too for support too. When you say the rectifier settings, do you mean the rectilinear interface patterns? Usually at a set when you were putting like PETG on PLA. I figured as much as that's what it was for. I'm just wondering with that 0.28 layer Z distance, if that'll be enough for it to not stick to itself. Okay. What would you suggest I change that rectilinear setting to? Also, does it think it has PETG as a support material? Let's see. I don't think so because all the other filaments that came in is listed as ABS. So I'm wondering if I don't see anything in there that says even remotely PET G. I can switch that back to the screen so you guys can see it real quick. Hold on. I'll turn the screen capture screen back on. So I don't see any. Here are all the. I switched this one over here, but all these other ones say Bamboo ABS. I don't see anywhere in here, starting from this tab, anywhere in here where it says support material. I will probably. My guess is it would be under the support tab, but I want to go through all of them just in case. This is what we're all about, guys. We're learning as a community together. So this is support tab, base pattern, rectilinear. There's all sorts of different ones. Pattern angle, top interface layer, bottom interface layer. Top Z distance. These are the two I changed. They were 0. I did not like that at all. That means it would have adhered to itself, which is maybe what caused that other user's issue with that, trying to get that off of there. And then multi-material. I don't see anything on here that's even selected for multi-material. So I don't see any settings in here that would tell me that when the acceleration setting exceeds the printer's maximum acceleration, Orca will automatically count the acceleration. Okay. I'm not sure why I would have thought that's interesting. So it's basically going to cap the acceleration. So when it's printing, it won't mess up any motors or anything. I'm going to go back to Streamlabs here, get you guys off screen capture, back to the webcam and the frozen cam. So, man, that glass is so shiny you can like see my reflection in it. Whoops. Oh, that works. I want you guys to be able to see most of that print bed as it's going. I almost want to open up the door. It's PLA, so it should be fine. I'm going to open up the door so you guys can see without the glass refraction. David Walton, you should be fine. All right, cool. We should be going. Yeah, I wanted to make sure too that there wasn't anything crazy going on with PET G, since they mentioned it in that other comment that maybe they changed some weird setting or something. So I appreciate you guys looking out for me on that one. So while we're getting our first layer going here, I would like to talk to you guys about some of the cool other stuff that we got going on. But first, let's break into our pretzels for tonight's show. Original seasoned pretzel twist by Dots. These are pretty good. I can get the bag open. We're not sponsored by Dots or anything, but it'd be cool. They send pretzels to us. They're good. Salty and peppery at the same time. So, if you're just now joining us for the live stream, we're celebrating 1,000 subscribers. Huge mark for us. We started doing this live stream thing, I want to say, man, had to be, I want to say July sometime. And then we started YouTube a few months before that. So hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark this year is a huge goal for us. Now we got to work on those watch hours to get that monetization and become a little bit bigger of a channel, a bigger of a community. Because the more people that we have in this community, the more we can learn from each other and support each other. And that's what I would really like to see for us at this channel. That's why I did these recent videos on the AMSs, the AMS, original AMS from Bamboo. That maintenance video that you could go through and watch. I mean, every time I do that maintenance on my AMS original, it's like it's a brand new machine afterwards. Even if it's just the PTFE tubes, I don't get any more error codes, or maybe it's just blowing out the hall sensors. I don't get any more error codes. I don't get any filament issues, feeding issues, and it's just like a whole brand new employee in our studio here. Same thing with that AMS 2 Pro video that we just dropped out. Every time we do that maintenance, yeah, I start getting frustrated with my AMS units, and then I realize, okay, if that's happening, it's probably time to do maintenance. And sure enough, when I do it, boom, the next print I do, flawless, no issues. I'm like, okay. Now, same thing can go with our printers. So if we start having issues with the printers, with the filament going into there, or if we're getting jams, we got to start looking into things like the cutter, or is the PTFE2 going into the machine from the buffer in the back? Got to be replaced. Is there a jam in the extruder? If there is a jam in the extruder, why is it jamming? Why is that filament cutter not cutting that filament cleanly, and some being left in the as residue? Usually, and this will be in the upcoming video that I'm going to do on the P1S, so sneak peek for you guys. Usually when that happens, the filament cutter is old and needs to be replaced. You'll know, I'll show an example on that video. There's either usually a dent, or there's the blade's dull, it's greased up, we got stuff all over it. That's when you'll start getting jams and stuff like that. So that's the kind of things that we go through. I can't be the only one out there going through these things, so that's why I put these videos out there, so you guys can get a hold of that content. And if I'm going through the suck, I'm sure somebody else is too. Because changing, as much as I love bamboo, changing out or unjamming a piece of filament stuck in that extruder is not fun. Taking that apart, I'll probably do a disassembly video at some point on that. I'm sure the P2S, if I can ever get one of those, is probably a lot easier. I know they swapped it out to the A1 easy swap out nozzle. I would recommend, if you do get a jam, the first thing I do is I preheat my nozzle up to like 220, or whatever the filament temperature is, and I use my no clogger and I shove it right through there. And usually 9 chances out of 10 clears it up, no problem. Keep on printing. If it doesn't, that's when I know I got a bigger problem, and I got to go in there and I have to see what's going on inside the extruder. Usually it's a piece of filament that broke off, glow filament. That is, I love glow filament, but it's a bane of my existence. Speaking of that, checking the comments here, make sure nobody's commenting. Speaking of glow filament, we just got the AMS HT here in the studio. I have a hypothesis on when I use glow filament, I want to use specifically glow filament in the AMS HT because its feeding system has that Vickers hardness of, I want to say it's like 1,000 or more, and it should be able to more routinely use glow filament because it is abrasive with that phosphorus additive. But we'll still have to do maintenance on it because of the PTFE tubes. Those don't change. We'll do a maintenance video on the AMS HT, probably as part of the unboxing. I'll do like a part 1, and then if you want the maintenance, you skip to the second half of the video. But that's what we're just got in the studio. We also got this little guy. God, it took forever to get this thing here. And every time I go to Bamboo to try to get a second one, because I'd really like to get a second one, and I think they're like $20. They're always sold out. So we got this little guy. This is the AMS. It says AMS hub, but it's not really a hub. It is, but it isn't. It's the AMS hub for the A1 series. This little guy will allow you to use the standard AMS systems, AMS 1, AMS 2 Pro, AMS HT, on the A1 Mini and the A1. That's a pretty cool system it's got going on there. So we're super excited to see that. But that's this little piece here. 1 tube comes out, or 1 tube goes in, 4 tube goes out. 4 tubes go out. Huh. Interesting. That's not what's pictured on the Bamboo website. Interesting. I'll have to check this out and see what's going on about that. Because the one they show on the website's got 2 going in and 1 coming out, I believe. Let me check. A1 AMS. Oh, you know what it is? So the one on the website, you can only see it from the side. That's why it looked like I was like, there's 2, but there's actually 4 ports, and it looks like 1 coming out. I'll go through the directions and get it hooked up to our system. It looks like 1 comes out to feed the A1 series printers. So that's exciting. We got that in the studio as well. That's part of the upgrade process we're going through. And then this just happened within the last 48 hours. So I put that poll out there to see if anybody was interested in our Skådis series. Let's see what YouTube's saying about that on our community tab. You have to print a part to mount it. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Check out our community tab here. So technically it's the post tab. Oh, we got a couple more votes in since I last looked. We got the Skådis AMS series, upgrade series, which I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Episode 2, A1 Mini P1S Spa Day. Those are tied for number 1 right now, so hopefully we can get that tiebreaker in. And then number 2, or in second place, is the Glow Zone print station. I will do that at some point because that's really cool. I think to have a UV box. Maybe that's what I'll do with the frozen enclosure. Is that UV print station? Just because, and it's not really UV print station. It's PLA glow that we'll be printing with specifically on those printers on a live stream type deal. But back to the Skådis episode. So I put that poll out there, and I had messaged Sunloose about something prior, and they offered to send us for a sponsorship for the next episode of the Skådis series, 8 rolls of PETG, which is huge for us because the next episode, without any spoilers, this is going to change behind me. Love these poles. They're a little too tall, so we got to swap those out. And I'm not necessarily a big fan of where our AMS units are, so I want to get them. I want to get all my ducks lined up in a row. So there are some cool upgrades that you can do on Maker World. If you want a little bit of a preview, you can check out our profile on Maker World and our Skådis collection. You'll see some of the things that I'm looking at printing. One of them is really cool, and it really, I was kind of like flabbergasted is the best word that comes to my mind right now about what it can do for our work system here in the AMS units, being able to elevate them onto the Skådis panel. And without going too deep into it, and some of the upgrades that you can do with that system is really cool. So a big shout out to Sunlu, and a big shout out to you guys for using that Be Glorious code from Sunlu when you order your filament, because that is really kind of one of the metrics that Sunlu uses. I'm sure, I don't know this for certain, but they're noticing that our channel is growing, and they want to support us. And just having that material to be able to print with at no cost to our channel is huge. So thank you, Sunlu. I appreciate that, and it's going to make that much easier to do for this episode coming up. So, and shout out to you guys again for using that Sunlu code. So how are we doing on our pretzels here? Let me turn around here and look. All right, we got the supports going down. So if you had joined us or if you have been joining us since the beginning of our live streams, one of our early prints that we did was in a translucent yellow Wolverine statue. And as the filament was coming out of the frozen Arco, it turned green because of the colors of the walls here in the studio. Our basement are blue. It was super like a weird illusion. The same kind of thing's happening with this uh, film that's coming out. It's technically gold bronze, but as it's coming out on the build plate, I don't know if you guys can notice, it's kind of like a pasty brown. It's yeah, you guys should be able to see it here on the screen. I can make it a little bit bigger for you. It's got that weird pasty brown color, and even more so, and it's got a little bit more yellow in it here in the studio. Always had good results with Sunloop Pet G. Printed Trucker, same here. Uh, we do art fairs in the summertime here. Actually, I've been doing a couple here recently in the winter too, indoor ones. But we have a cart system that is similar to this, but it's just the standard height. And I used PETG from Sunlu for those brackets that hold the SCADIS panel onto the metal B-roll poles. And I am super impressed. I actually had an 8-foot cart fall off of the trailer, about a 4-foot drop, and only 3 of the brackets broke. I was super impressed because it was a fully loaded cart. And the SCADIS panels didn't break. So shout out to Sunlu for making great filament and like not adding any special additives to dilute the material. So I actually, a funny story, I was going to print. I got some bronze material off of Temu just to try it, and it is the weirdest. It said it was PLA. Right before I got on this live stream, I was testing it out, and as it was going through the printer, it would come out normal strand, but as soon as it cooled off, it like exploded and got like super thick. I was like, no, I'm not sending this through my printer because I'm sure it would have clogged it up. Sunlu, you got great products for your filament. I actually haven't had any tangles where some of the Elegoo stuff I've had a few tangles on the spools. Not a lot, but typically use Bamboo Pet G HF, but when I want a shiny surface, I go to Sunlu. Yeah, I will say Bamboo is my I shouldn't say the only. The reason why I don't use Bamboo is just because of the price point. I honestly think that they are right there. I have rolls and rolls of it over here of Bamboo filament. When they go on sale, I get them. I just bought a bunch of the like cocoa brown color that they have because I print a lot of Minecraft stuff. So I got that on the Black Friday sales. But Sunlu has been getting more and more and more colors, and especially in their PETG or PETG, their colors for that have been expanding as well. I want to say, I don't know if it's the refill or if it's the when it comes on the standard roll, but one of those 2 pages, it seems like it almost has the same amount of colors on that for PETG as it does PLA, which I'm super excited because for our summer shows, I like to print in PETG because of the sun. It stands up better to sunlight and it doesn't warp. The only other PETG that I use is by Strong Hero 3D, and those are like metallic gradient colors that we have seen in some of our stuff. So I'm hearing a little bit of grinding noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it from the Arco. It's not too terrible, but Mullen, Tinmarie, Sunlu, Bamboo. That's your order of your favorites? All right. I used to be more of a proponent for Elegoo, but those cardboard rolls, they're hard on your AMS units, and if you get a brand new AMS, if you use a cardboard roll in it, and Bamboo finds out, it'll void your warranty. So don't do that. Our AMS units the original AMS units are well past their warranty. So if I have to print a roll of cardboard in it, I will. But I won't put it in my AMS2 Pros or my AMS HTs yet. I think I get a year. Gonna be getting 3D Fuel PCTG. I'll have to check that out. That sounds pretty cool. 3D Fuel. And Again, fair warning, I did not dry this filament and it has been out for a minute. So we'll see how well the Arco handles the probably semi-moist filament. Any cubic ceramic are not favored. Yeah, when I first started 3D printing, I used a material brand called Hatchbox. They seemed to be pretty good, but once I found Elegoo, I really understood what the quality filament should start at, and then I found Bamboo, which they have great for quality filament, and then I was looking for something at a little bit of a better price point, but still the same quality, and then I found Sunlu, and I really haven't gone back since. I've got, I don't even want to know how many rolls of Sunlu filament I have right now in the studio. Try the New Maker Ice Grip plate, my best plate. Yeah, I'll have to see if I'll write to them and see if they'll send us one. I use the Cryo Grip plates and they work great, especially the, I have a hard time telling the difference between the two or remembering the difference between the two. Whichever one has the more sticky plate and and I want to say it's the Glacier. It's sometimes I won't let prints go. I have to scrape them off there later. But they work. I don't have any bed adhesion issues with those prints. I probably don't have to use my hairspray anymore, but I still do because it's a bad habit to break. No, spray it away. If you use hairspray, do not spray it in your machine. Walk away from your machine, spray this hairspray on the plate, and then bring it back to your machine. Hairspray is a flammable. Quality over price, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Let's see. That's why I got a little ledger here. So out of our recent videos that we've released, which ones have you guys found the most helpful? Or did you find that yeah, I think it was just the most helpful for that. Did you like the Arco video where we broke down the extruder, or did you like the AMS where we broke down the maintenance on the AMS units? Or did you like the organization videos for the IKEA Skådis? If you guys are watching right now, drop that in the comments on which ones, if you've seen them, which ones you've liked. I'm just trying to get a sense on what to do for direction or not necessarily direction, for like a schedule of episodes so that you guys can get that content here pretty soon. How many printers are in your print farm right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. I can't count facing the opposite direction. Yeah, 1 off location. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 printers in our print farm. So we're getting there. We've got Spa, David Walton. They were all very good videos. I like the way you walk through the steps. Spa Day, I meant. Okay, I'm catching up on the comments. Cryo and Super Tag are goodbyes. New Maker better. Extruder video was helpful. Andrew says the extruder video was helpful. Colin was the Spa Day for the AMS. They were all very good videos, like the way you walk through the steps. Like the Skådis, but all the videos have been informative and enjoyable. Maybe some other maintenance, like extruder replacement on bamboos, general maintenance, reminder stuff. Extruder replacements on the bamboos. Yes, I do want to do that. I want to break down, because I think the biggest problem that I have had out of my P1S machines is when the cutter just gets dull and it gets that piece of filament that breaks off in the extruder. Taking that apart is a 5-letter word I can't say on live stream. So yeah, that will be the next video that I do for maintenance. Is maintenance for the P1S, and then I don't know if I'll do it necessarily inside of that video, but in conjunction, when I have one of the P1Ss offline, I will do that extruder breakdown so that you guys can see that. I'm also going to do it for the A1 Mini and stuff like that too, just because when you got to take those apart, can be kind of confusing. A lot of the content out there, some of them are great, but they're long, and I got to skip through it. And I'm like, okay, if I got to skip through the video, that means I'm not working on the machine. So I try to keep it between that 5 and 7 minute mark for the video, not including the intro and exit parts, but just to get you guys the content you need when you need it, and you don't have to go through and search for the sections you need. Colin, that probably would be a very good video for me to do as part of the IKEA series. Since you're tuning in the live stream, I will clue you in for how we manage the poop situation for our P1Ss. So if you can see behind me, I'm gonna make this actually I don't need to do it because it's on this side. Mirror images are fun. Colin, to answer your question, so with our IKEA setup here, we have the B-Roar shelving units from IKEA that the printers sit on. You don't necessarily going to need any of this to manage the situation, but what you need to do is have some sort of shelving unit that the P1S sits on, and that the poop chute can come out the back. And I don't know what state you might live in. I live in Michigan, and here Meijer's really popular. I got this pet food container from Meijer. It's about, actually I can pull one out here so you guys can see it. It sits below the machine. And this is what our poop goes into. And whatever prints that fail, they just go into this machine or bin. So it's got little wheels on it, so it makes it easy to slide in and out. I think this was like $20 at Meijer. But the basis of the system, any system that you're going to want to do, is you're going to want to have it drop out of the back of the machine and either go. I cut a hole in our shelf in the back, but I didn't necessarily have to do that if my shelf stuck off the wall a little bit. But it goes out of the back of the machine and straight down into the bin. And every once in a while, James Lechner just tuned in. Did you get your chroma kit? No, I did not get my chroma kit yet. I did get a notification that Frozen sent me something, but it could be a lot of different things that I have like parts that are on order with them. I've got an air purifier from them and an enclosure system from them coming that they're sending us at a heavy discount. Still pay with the studio's funds, but a very heavy discount. But back to this system, it's just got to be able to go from the poop chute down straight in and into a collection area. If you try to put that little thing that goes around the side, I used to have one, and if you print anything over like 4 to 5 hours, that's a multicolored print, it's going to clog up and it's rough. So definitely get it some sort of system set up on to where the poop can the purge pellets, that bamboo cullet, out of the back of the machine and straight down into some sort of collection vat thing. But hopefully when we get our SnapMaker U1 here in the next, I got a shipment notification from them. Shout out to SnapMaker on this. I got a shipment notification that it has left whatever country it's coming from. I can't remember if it's China or Taiwan or it left the eastern side of the globe, and it is on a boat on its way to the warehouse here and should be getting to us very soon. So shout out to that. I'm actually working on upgrading an entire section of the studio so that we can put all our I'm going to have all our bamboo printers on one wall and all our non-bamboo on another wall, just so I can manage the power a little bit differently. I'll talk about that in a second here too. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Just swap my extruder, upgrading a P1 series to hardened steel extruder. Why don't they sell it that way? That would be a good one. A hardened steel extruder. That I actually have. I want to say it's the Panda Claw from BQ on. I can't remember which machine it is right now, but I did that for our glow filament because it will chew your non-hardened extruder up pretty fast. I just tuned in. No, I didn't get my chroma kit yet. James, have a great lives and good night. Off to sleep, loading axles, then driving power. Summerson. Be safe, Printed Trucker. Thanks for joining the live stream, buddy. Thanks for tuning into the channel and supporting us. You stay safe out there in this winter weather. Got mine yesterday, but afraid to hook it up till I've seen a few others do it. I'll probably do it right here in a live stream. As soon as we get ours, I will do it right here in the live stream. I will probably make some mistakes. It will make good blooper footage for later, James, but I will do that on the live stream. Andrew Krob, ever thought of making filament for your discarded parts? I have tried that, Andrew. I have tried. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. I think it was like a year and a half ago. He did a video on what to do with your leftover filament. I've tried melting it. I tried grinding it up. There's no good time sensitive way to handle that stuff. That's why I'm so excited for the Snapmaker U1. It's only 4 colors, but hey, I mostly only print in 4 colors at most anyway, so that'll be a good printer to have. Let's see how we're doing under here. Okay, our pretzels are getting to layer 2, it looks like. Kind of looks weird though. It's got some brighter spots than others, but got mine yesterday. Afraid to look up. Ever thought of making a filament conditioner? So, Colin, I hope I answered your question about that filament purge situation. If you want the breakdown of what our system actually is, it is the B-roller. I would suggest getting the workbench. Don't get the full shells like we have. Technically, if I were going back, I'd probably just get the workbench and then put the Skådis panels directly up on the wall. But since I'm in the basement here in concrete cinder blocks, that would be hard. That's why I got the back poles. I'm going to be using these front poles for the back poles of the next setup. But we attached the Skådis to the B-roller poles, and that allows us to put things up on the wall. The key to that filament purge system is just getting it to drop out the back and into something bigger than that little thing that collects on the side. I'm interested to see what we're going to do with this Frozen Arco because its filament system is a little bit different. So seriously, make sure you set up a reviewer process. Don't let them bully you into reviewing your finished video so they can make changes. I appreciate that, sir. Seriously, that's good information to know, since we are a new channel and excuse me, no monies have exchanged hands or anything. They just donated some filament, and any of the products we've gotten, we've actually still purchased with our own funds here at the studio. That's actually what we do art fairs for, so I can feed this channel going forward. But I appreciate that. That's super important to know. If I do feel bullied, quote unquote, I won't do the review. It's got to be a for the community type of review. Oh, that's another one I wanted to let you guys know. Eibos, they watched our Sunlu video. They were impressed with it on the AMS heater that they did. They want us to do an Eibos review. They're sending that out to us. We only have one AMS that doesn't have the AMS heater, so it works out. So you'll see that coming out soon too. Teaching Tech has a good policy you can copy. It's what I use on my main channel. Good luck. Thank you, sir. Seriously, I appreciate that. I will reach out to Teaching Tech and see what they have to offer. I don't want to just copy their stuff, but I will seek advice from them since they are a bigger channel, just to see what that stuff is all about. This is a new world for us here at the channel, and I'm super excited about it, but I also see the cautiously optimistic side of things as well. Most importantly for me though, if it's not going to be a product that I would use, or if it's got an issue that I would be like, no way, I'm going to make sure that's in the review so that anybody that sees the content that I push out is going to know, hey, this is the issue I have. This is why I don't like this product. And it's important for the big companies to know this too, because it's going to create a headache for them. So we're doing some good things. So if you're just joining us on a live stream, we're celebrating the 1,000 subscriber mark. Woohoo, we made it. It's been about, I want to say it's been about 6 months since we started the channel. We're figuring out things daily here on YouTube. I mean, things from editing to thumbnails and what those are all about. And we're kind of making our own like unique brand of content. There are a few channels out there that I watch, but I don't necessarily try to copy anything anyone's doing, especially because YouTube is such a big platform. I saw a potential for some maintenance videos for people that are getting these cheaper printers on Black Friday, the P1Ss, the A1s, all those printers that are coming up. There's a billion videos out there, but when I work on a printer, I'm going to need the information as quick as possible. So I try to keep those videos 5 to 7 minutes long. But it's something else, some other things that we're celebrating here on the channel. We're getting noticed by some of the bigger companies, and seriously, just let us know, like, hey, if you're just getting noticed, get a reviewer policy going. That's important to know. I appreciate that advice and information. That's huge for us as a channel. Sunlu is noticing us. Frozen is, because of the Arco, is noticing us, and so is these other companies like Eibos, are noticing us and saying, hey, you guys are doing great things. We see these other videos. Would you be interested in reviewing? And as part of this growing experience together, I want to be able to showcase to you guys, like, hey, if you guys got dreams, you should chase them. Like, don't give up on your dreams because you have to be an adult. I mean, you still got to be an adult, but if we can do it here at the channel with you guys, I hope that you too can chase your dreams and make whatever your desires are come true. So thank you guys for the support on all of this stuff, watching those watch hours, watching those videos that we put out every so often. I try to get it on a regular schedule, but life happens. Minimum, I'm gonna get one out a month. 2 is what I'd like to get a month. So, but lately our publishing content has been about 1 every 7 or 9 days. So right now we're working on a couple of different episodes. So our pretzels are doing pretty good. It seems like. I heard the Arco grind a couple times, like when it was rubbing against the print, but I don't hear it anymore. So if you guys are joining us on the channel, we are not sponsored by anyone. I mean, this is the first time I've gotten filament from a company, so it's awesome to say that. But Frozen Arco is our newest printer, so I'm gonna try to do our live streams with our newest printer, just kind of like, hey, this is what we're printing with recently. Our next printer after the Frozen Arco is going to be the Snapmaker U1. That is scheduled it's on a ship on its way to the United States, somewhere out in one of the oceans. Fingers crossed it makes it safe. At some point, we will get the chroma kit for this Frozen Arco. It's been delayed several times for quality issues, which I'm glad. It's a double-edged sword, but I'm glad Frozen did delay it, just to make sure that they can get the quality out there, because when I print with multicolor, I do not want to have any headaches. That's why I like Bamboo so much. It's also a double-edged sword. Yes, they have their systems kind of locked down, but it is in my opinion, I know not everybody might share this opinion, but it is the easiest system currently to use multicolor with that I have. Snapmaker, I hope you change that. If you've ever printed with any abrasives before, that's important to know that any of these AMS type systems that you're going to be using, they're going to have PTFE tubes. That's what these maintenance videos are for. Even standard PLA eventually, I think it's like 3 months is like the longest I've had a tube last without having to change it. Will wear down and you'll get a split. If your AMS starts giving you hiccups, that's usually time for it to do maintenance. So that's what we've been doing every time I do maintenance on my AMSs. It's like I got brand new machines afterwards, especially after I blow them out and they look nice and crisp. So, and then we're all about organization and making things flow a little bit better. Currently, one of the problems I have here in the studio is I love our AMS units. They do hard work, but I got to figure out a better system on how to not only use them every day and swap out filaments, but be organized in a way that I can just swap out a roll and be done with it. I ain't got to move the AMS system. But I don't know if anybody else noticed this or not. It's kind of important where you put your AMS units too, because that PTFE tube that flows out of the back of the AMS into the AMS buffer on the back of your machines, if there's any extra friction there for no reason, looking forward to the snap maker review. I need to go back and watch your AMS video because mine keeps snapping filament right at the convergence point. +1 sub. I appreciate that. We really try to break it down. There's some files out there by K2 Kevin that'll also help those friction points. That'll be part of an AMS upgrade series that we're going to be doing here in the near future. But back to what I was saying, when it comes out of the AMS unit, if there's any extra friction or bending, it's just extra wear that your AMS is going to, and your unit is going to sense, and sometimes it can cause printer errors. So the straighter that path is, the better it's going to be, especially for those older AMS units like the Gen 1s. The ones that are right on top of our machine here, they come right out the back and they go right straight into the machine. It almost would be best if I had them on the side of the machine and they went straight into the tube. It's just less bending and less friction that the sensors have to deal with. So it's important to know that types of information. If you guys have any information to share with the channel, feel free to post on our community tab. I'm pretty sure that's unlocked. Now, if not, send me a message at our email or on Facebook and let us know it's not unlocked. Share, hey, this is what we are doing with our AMS system. You share pictures. I'm all about community growth and stuff like that. This is our setup. This is what we've experienced in our usage, and it just helps everyone. You'll notice that one of the upgrades I've done to the P1Ss that we have in the studio is a Skådis riser. I just like having tools and stuff being able to do that. Yeah, it took me probably a roll and a half of PETG per machine, but now I can just, my spray can, it's on the side. Febreze, it's on the side. My scrapers, it's on the side. It's all right there. So workflow is important, especially when your farm starts to get bigger. Call me John Deere. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have seen any printers that you also have, or you have printers that we don't have, I don't mind doing a little bit of research and troubleshooting with you guys about what could be happening. I'd like to get some of those outlier printers eventually that people have problems with. I know some of the Crealities recently, I think, had a little bit of trouble. I think those have been ironed out now, though. Creality's one of the other bigger companies out there. But I'm really excited for that snap maker you want. I've been watching their, it's like the Frozen Arco when it first came out for the backers. It's like the backer channel. I've been watching that and I'm like, oh, they got theirs. They got theirs. It seems like you got to really calibrate your filament, but once you get that in there, it should be no problem with it. A couple of people have received cracked heads on their one of the 4 tool heads. Snapmaker gets them out real quick. Replacements, they've been really good. It seems like the customer service. I watch all that kind of stuff just to make sure. I'm sure you guys do too if you backed it. So I'm really, really excited to see. We paid for that snap maker out of our own funds, so that'll be a true blue review. I'll give my initial thoughts when it gets here. We'll probably do the unboxing on a live stream, hype that up a little bit. So that's what we're doing. Again, guys, thank you so much for that 1,000 subscribers. It's been a journey, and I'm so excited to continue doing that journey with you all and learning as a community together. Let me get this screen switched here a little bit. We're getting our pretzels. If you guys want one of the, don't eat this pretzel. I will send you a pretzel in the mail for this 1,000 subscriber mark. If you're watching, if you're tuning into the live stream, just send me an email to thegloriousgeeks01@gmail.com, and I will get that out to you. But you do have to be attending the live stream, so put your YouTube name in there, and as well, so I can know. That way everybody gets one that's supposed to. I'll put that in here, the Glorious Geeks 01@gmail.com. That way you guys always know that you were attending the live stream. Well, it didn't happen on the live stream, but you were in attendance of our celebration moment of the 1,000 subscribers. You can also give us a shout out on Facebook too. Let me get you that link. You can find us right here. Just got a Black Friday deal on Creality K1 SE for the garage. $100 for a Core XY was too good to pass up. Before my X1C, I used a Creality CR10 for years. FYI, if you don't have Super Tack plates yet, get them. I use the so seriously, I use the drawing a blank. The BQ cryo plates. Those have been super good plates for me. I think I like wash them like once every 2 weeks, and even when I don't wash them, they still stick. I don't understand what material. I probably should understand, but I don't know what material that they used on it offhand. But it's really good. That I wish. The only thing I wish I would have done differently, and I don't even know if they were out at the time, but they released an orange version. And since we're the Glorious Geeks, I wish I would have had the orange cryo plates. But the blue ones are pretty cool too. They actually help. Somebody dropped it in the comments on one of our shorts. They're like, "How did you upgrade the P1S camera?" And since you guys are tuning into the live stream, kind of an underrated hack, trick, whatever. If you want to upgrade your P1S camera, you can do it without actually upgrading the camera. What I've done is this Skådis AMS riser, or any riser that angles LEDs down. I put LEDs inside the machine up above, and it angles the light down, and that blue cryo plate really brightens everything up, and it helps the camera out. Seriously, I haven't washed mine since I got it. Those things are crazy. I haven't had a failure since. Yeah, those videos that you see that 45-degree angle coming off the build plate, yeah, they're real. It's crazy. Something a couple weeks ago, we tried printing that stuff out of TPU. I wanted to say it was printed trucker, but if I'm wrong, I apologize. Someone dropped that they printed on their Elegoo Centauri Carbon that TPU prints great. I can 100% guarantee that the Elegoo Centauri Carbon can print TPU, because I did print a pickleball on the Elegoo Centauri Carbon, and it handled it no problem. I changed out the filament afterwards, nothing left in it. I mean, yeah, they're not coming out with the multicolor, or they aren't. That's a whole other story. But if you're just using it for a single color, that printer is, I will give it to Elegoo. It's a good printer. We did redeem when they made the announcement. I did opt in, since we have two of the machines. I opted in for the coupon for $80 off the Centauri Carbon 2 when it comes out sometime next year. So for me, I wasn't going to get any more filament from them, and the extended warranty. By the time the Centauri Carbon 2 comes out, my warranty will be up. So they print great. I print all sorts of stuff on there. I print those collapsible swords on there. It's just, it was rough going through that. Hey, we're not going to be able to deliver right now or anytime soon on the multicolor unit for that machine. That was rough. So, and that may or may not lead to why I'm not getting filament from them. I kind of stopped getting filament from them before that, just because it's the cardboard spools for me. I know they offer the refills. I'm not sure if they work for the bamboo spools or not, but Sunlu offers the best price that I've seen. Especially that Black Friday sale that just happened. It was like $9.80 a roll. I was like, okay. So that was the lowest price I've seen all year. And especially with the tariff things that going on, I'm super happy that they're still able to offer those low prices, because some of the other companies have gone up at times, and it was rough. Especially when you're a maker like we are, that go to art fairs and stuff and sell to the general public items that we print. It's hard for that price calculation part. So, but we're doing fun things. You guys will start noticing some upgrades here down in the studio over time. David Walton, you are absolutely correct. I have. You are absolutely, your comment makes me crack up, because I have the same thing. It's actually cheaper to get Sunlu in the spool than the refills with the deals going on. Yes, let me show you. This will be a comic moment for you guys. So when it comes to Sunlu and it being cheaper, if you have any suggestions, this is only about probably a third, if not less of all of the rolls, blank rolls I have. If you have any suggestions on what we can do with these guys, or make a video on, I got a whole bin over there full of these. They are starting to mount up, because they're like $2 cheaper a roll to get it with the spool than it is for the refill. So I don't want to get rid of these, because they are super useful. And I don't want to obviously open up the refills that I have to put on them, because then I got to dry them. But I've got tons of these things. So David, you are right. And here's the evidence to show for it. Let me get this put aside here. It's funny that you brought that up. Maybe I might need to just make an empty spool rack on the wall somewhere. I've seen people make them in the little storage containers. I've seen that too. I'm wondering if I can't make them into storage containers and then maybe sell them at art fairs or something. I've seen some people turn them into cable winders. That's something that could be useful for us. I've got cables everywhere. So turn them into cable winders, all sorts of different things. So that is that is the ongoing struggle of what we need to do with our empty spools. I never thought that would be the case, but make a large Christmas tree. I thought about trying to, like, how high can I pile it before it falls over, but I tried that. I got it to the ceiling, couldn't go any higher. So that didn't work. But a large Christmas tree with them, that could be fun. Maybe I'll make like a little cart or something. There's a lot of different things you could do with them. I've seen on Maker World, I don't remember who the artist is, but there's filament racks you can print for these B-roll poles that I might print for them, just for the emptier spools down from below. I have under the Centauri carbons and the Arco, I don't have any of the bins, so I can put them underneath there. But they're starting to build up, so it's just funny. I'm glad I'm not the only one having that problem. but I can't justify an extra $2 for a refill yet. I'm sure at some point it's gonna flip flop, and all of us that have these extra spools, maybe we can list them on eBay or something. I don't know, but it is a funny problem to see in the community right now. Thank James, make a hydropower waterfall generator. That'd be pretty. Oh, I wonder if I live here in West Michigan, and we have some pretty strong winds. I wonder if I can make a windmill out of them and generate my own power. That'd be pretty funny. There's a video project for a 2-year project, I'm sure. But it is a funny problem to see out in the community. At least it doesn't. Well, at least not yet. It doesn't create like the purge waste problem that you have from the actual filament. I imagine at some point, I think the prices are probably still so low on those. I don't have any insider information on this. This is just pure speculation on my part. Because these are such new rolls or new spools, they're probably trying to get them out in the hands of the consumer. And then at some point, the refills will be either at the same price or maybe slightly cheaper once they've been out for a while. I think I've only seen them out for 4 or 5 months, so I don't think they've been around long. But I've gotten plenty of filament through them, so printing all the stuff for the fairs and all the upgrades for this stuff down here, we go through a pretty good amount of filament. But recently, I have been getting more of the refills, so I am trying to be environmentally conscious and budget friendly. I'm also thinking about doing like a reef. I have to maybe do a video series on keeping my filament separate, because I've some of the filament, like the white for PETG and PLA, especially if you get matte, it can look very similar. And when I go to put it on the rolls, I know the sticker you can stop on the side, but sometimes I forget because I have ADHD. And then I'm like, which one is it? Is it PLA or is it PETG? So I've got to keep my filament separate. So the northern or the western wall is PETG, and the northern wall is PLA. So I just started getting TPU. So where I'm going to put that, I don't know. So, all right, let's take a look at our pretzels here. Looks like we're printing the first layers of the actual pretzel that are off the supports. And it looks like, so far I can see the pretzel isn't part of the support. It isn't welded to it, so that's a good sign to see. Need to do, send us 10 empty rolls, get 20 on a coupon or something like that. Has to be a sold value in them for manufacturers. There you go. Maybe we need to start sending our rolls back to Sunlu and getting a coupon for like further filament. That would be funny. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. That was a funny comment. I don't know, what was I gonna say? If you're just now joining us for the live stream, we are celebrating. There's a blooper for you guys. Celebrating our 1,000 subscribers. I think we're a good buffer past that now. I think we're at 1036 or 30, something like that, somewhere around there. But thank you guys for all those subscriptions. We've gotten part A of the first tier for the monetization part of YouTube. The second part is those watch hours. So we'll keep doing content, keep doing what we're doing, those maintenance videos, these organization videos, learning editing, checking out those thumbnails. If you guys have any tips on what we can do for videos, you can drop those anytime. You can drop those in the comments. Hey, you did this video. Could you do this video? It'd be super helpful. Those types of things to grow the community. At some point, we will unlock those membership tiers. I don't know what that looks like for yet, because that's a whole new world for us. Figure out that. That'll just goes to help out the channel and making content for you all. I know some of the other content creators that are not 3D printer related that I watch out there. Shout out to Detroit Den 313. They do like raffles for their for for both their subscribers and their members. There's 2 different tier raffles. That's an option up there. There's a lot of different things we can do that we're looking forward to being able to provide you guys as a community. So thank you guys you guys give us your time by watching, and that's super meaningful to us here at the studio. We're going to grow as a community, and our little print farm here has already grown a couple of printers since we started this series. Our equipment has been slowly getting upgraded. We've gotten higher quality audio, a newer camera that was cool to be able to do. Now we've got some camera mounts for our printers. It's just really been fun to do this journey with you all. So thank you guys for everything that you have brought to us. All those comments, support, all that stuff. And again, if you want one of these pretzels, and don't eat it, it's PLA, it's cornstarch, yes, it's food grade, safe, whatever, but just don't eat it. We'll get you one of these out as a memorabilia piece. It's just a thank you from me. You can send your contact information to thegloriousgeeks01@gmail.com or message us on Facebook, get your information. If you're attending the live stream, I just want to give that as a thank you. It'll come with a note from me, a hand-signed note from me, and it's just a way for me to give back to you guys for your time and your support. You can always work with Polymaker. I know several YouTubers that give a roll every stream. I have reached out to Polymaker, and that would be cool to do. I hope I can do something like that with Sunlu. That would be really cool. I live stream like once a week usually, unless there's like a holiday or weather. Last week was rough. I think between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m., our power went out probably 4 or 5 times. It was rough. I have an Anchor power station that keeps our printers online when that happens. So if you guys have those issues in your area, I would highly recommend getting a power station backup for your printers, especially if you're a maker like me or like us that go to the art fairs and you try to make a little bit of money to support your hobby. On the backside, a failed print from a power outage can be rough. Something else that I would recommend, and we've talked about earlier, you got the power station. The other one is those BQ build plates, those cryo build plates. When the power went out, it didn't phase us for the build plates. When our heated bed went cold, it didn't matter to me because those cryo they adhere so well. I didn't have any fails. So now what did happen one time when the power went out, it wasn't the cryo plate's fault. The printer didn't resume in its right spot, so it knocked over some prints. But if you print and your power goes out, it's super handy to have the power station. When we get a bigger print farm, hopefully we'll be able to reach out to like Anchor or somebody that we can get some sort of deal on that. But those are future things. I would highly recommend a power station if you're going to be having any more than 1 or 2 printers and you need to rely on them working continuously. Sir, seriously, editing, not my favorite part of the gig, but it does get easier as you get more proficient. Yes, sir, seriously, you can go back 6 months ago and look at some of our beginning videos, and you can see just the things that I learned on the back end, the overlays, it's just, you make one video, you're like, okay, I made the video. You go and you look at it, and then you're like, why could I do this better? And the next video, you get better, and you get better, and you get better. It's just little things you learn. There was one of my first videos, like my intro was, the audio level was really low, and then the actual audio was really high. I learned audio leveling. It's just the journey is fun, and I like computer things and stuff like that, so it's enjoyable for me, that part of the content. David Waltz, you can always work with Paul. Okay, you got that comment. And if for anybody that is thinking about doing YouTube or any one of these channels, one of the things that is the hardest thing for me as a now new content creator is there'll be days that you're like, I want to get this video out, but it's not, it could be better. You could get stuck in that cycle where it could be better, it could be better, it could be better, but then your content's not out there for people to view. And then you yourself don't get to learn from that. So you have to find that point to where, okay, hey, you got to release a video, you got to let it go, and then you get to learn from that, and then you make your next video. That keeps you going forward. That's something I had to learn. My printer got quiet all of a sudden. No, we're still printing. Huh. That's weird. It just got quiet. One of the things that I'm excited to see here, I think they said it was scheduled to ship December 5th. Eibos is sending that AMS heater out to us. I really like these Sunloo heaters. They work phenomenal. One of the things that I wish that I could do with them is having those individual bays, because sometimes I have PLA and PETG in this same machine. And while the PLA setting is okay to dry PETG with, it could be a little bit warmer, but it can't work the other way around. You can't use PETG drying settings for PLA, because then it'll mess up your PLA. I speak from experience. I messed up a roll of PLA. But having those individual bays, I want to see just how isolated they are. Do I need to keep one on one end and one on the other and have that buffer space in between? I'm getting the individual 4 ones, and ironically, I have one AMS that doesn't have any upgrades to it yet. So the original AMS. So that's something exciting we're seeing. Frozen, we're getting that enclosure and that air filtration system, which will be super nice, just because we have our little furry friends here in the studio, furry management, I should say, because they're always inspecting the new packages and stuff that come in, just to get that extra clean air for them. It's a very open environment, and we do have some ventilation up here in the top, but it could be better. So just to have that safety environment for them. And I think I might want to try that glow station inside the enclosure. So, and that's a pretty cool thing to have. And then doing that IKEA stuff is going to be really cool, because it's going to change this entire back setup. I might be down for a day or two after changing all that around. It'll be one of those things. I'll have like the camera sitting over here just recording me doing all the setup and stuff, and that'll be editing for later, time lapsing it and showing you guys what I did. Because you've been here from the beginning. Most of you have been here from the beginning, if not all of you have been here from the beginning, and you've seen how some of this stuff changes from time to time as we improve our workflow. And going forward, you guys will see is just as much. We are actually now going to expand from just this one wall here over to another wall that I'll be setting up some more equipment. I have to figure out how I want to live stream 2 places at once, because eventually the Arco will be over there along with the snap maker and the Centauri carbons. All those will be on their own wall. And no, I'm not trying to do that shout out to Bamboo or anything like that. It's just about the purge system. I don't really have a ton of purge with the Centauri carbon. They're single color. They do one little droplet every time I switch out a roll. The frozen Arco, same thing right now. Even when we get the chroma kit, it spits their filament around the side, out the front, because its purge system is so low, it doesn't have that drop capability. So they got a conveyor belt system coming for that. So it'll be the same thing. I'll have to have that over there. And then behind me will be where all the Bamboo printers go, because of these this filament system that I got set up. I just want to have this all in the same area. One of the things I will say that I've run into recently, it's kind of like an update on the studio and things that are going on here. With these AMS heaters that we just plugged in, and the AMS HT and the AMS 2 Pros, because they have to be plugged in, power is becoming a bit of an issue with the power station. So the other day, I plugged in the AMS HT into there and turned on its drying feature, and it tripped the internal circuit of the power station. I was like, what? It's only rated for so many watts at any given time. So I went over that threshold. So now I have to separate the printers onto their own power line versus the accessories, the AMS heater, the AMS 2 Pro, the AMS HT, any LEDs, put those on its own so that the power station can just run the printers when the power goes out. Anything else is not a necessity. So things to, as your printer farm gets a little bit bigger, to ponder. Those are learning experiences that we're going through right now. So I'd like to open it up to any rapid fire questions you guys would like to ask me. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments, and I'll either answer it immediately, or two, I got to do some research and figure out what that answer is and get it back to you. And if I don't know the answer, that's a learning opportunity for me. One of the things I'm excited about for our upcoming shows in this coming summer for the art fairs is our glow stuff. It's been super popular with the kids. They love it. And that AMS HT and the AMS 2 Pro with those ceramic inlets, they make a huge difference when it comes to filament, and the servo motors inside of them can push the filament better. So being able to use that in conjunction with this AMS hub for our A1 is going to be pretty big. And I can't overstate the importance of maintenance on your AMS units and those PTFE tubes. If they're giving you fits, check those PTFE tubes. Those are the first places where you're going to have, if it's got a split in it, sometimes your filament won't even go in with the tube. It'll go straight out, and it'll either bunch up in your AMS somewhere and then eventually retract, or it'll bunch up in your AMS and stay in there, and then you have a big mess to clean up later. That's only happened to us once, but if they're giving you fits, that's usually them crying out for help. I'm looking at the pretzels on the live stream here on your guys' end, and it looks like they're, because of the way that they're printing right now, it looks like that they're Minecraft pretzels because they're pixelated. And it's not the camera, it's just the way they're printing. They're printing blocky. That's funny because of the supports, the grid supports. But if you're just joining us for the live stream, we're celebrating that 1,000 subscriber mark. Thank you to everyone who has been on this journey with us. This is huge. When I first started this, I didn't know if we'd ever get here, and we're here. We've made it. We've done it together, and now the sky's the limit for us all. We're creating a community here that we can learn from each other, support one another in our 3D printing hobby, and just have some fun with it. As you can see, we're printing pretzels. And if you want one of these pretzels, you can send us an email at thegloriousgeeks01@gmail.com with your contact information, and we'll get one of these out to you. Just as a memorable piece of memorabilia of the moment that we are hitting this threshold, and the next one I'll probably do at 5,000 subscribers, or when we unlock that membership tier, I'll do a silver pretzel. I'll do like a silk peel, silk PLA. Assuming these turn out, I might have to do a different pretzel. I don't know. Looks like they're doing pretty good though. None of those supports are like messing up anywhere. So, to do a quick recap for you guys, again, we're celebrating those 1,000 subscribers. We're hitting some bigger things on that channel. Companies are noticing us for like review purposes. I did get reached out to by PCBWay a while back. It seems like they're hitting up all content creators, which isn't a good thing. But I'm not sponsored with them at all. We got Frozen sending us some stuff. Again, we paid for it, but a heavy discount. We got Eibos sending us that AMS heater upgrade. We have Sunlu, who's donating the filament for our next Skådis episode. So we're going to say that was sponsored by them for the filament donation. But it's a super, I never thought, I mean, that was the goal, obviously, but I never had the uber expectation of this moment and the reward feeling that it is. So thank you guys for this amazing journey that we're on, doing this community and growing our Glorious Geeks channel together. So next week's live stream, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that Skådis project, as I'll probably be in the middle of filming that, because I have some things to print, and I'll be printing them on the live stream. Some of them are pretty big, so they'll have to go on the Arco. There are some brackets, so you'll be able to get a sneak peek next week if you if you want for that. We're also printing some cool memorabilia for different sports things. So we're doing some cool things like that. Again, thank you guys so much. And remember, be kind, keep printing, and always be glorious.